Raptors are out of Toronto and into an interconference game. Welcome, everybody. Glad you decided to spend your Thursday night with us here at 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Just a single game here at home. After this one, it's back on the road for the Spurs.
You know, they've looked a bit lost out there lately. I mean, they don't seem to be playing with a lot of purpose and focus and even drive. I mean, you can't just wait for good things to happen. You've got to make things happen.
And Clark, I think you're spot on with your analysis. They clearly, to me, have lost some confidence, and that's led them to force things on the court. You start to press and not trust one another. So they're going to have to figure out a way to get back to the basics and really start to believe in one another if they want to turn things around.
So let's take a look at the Toronto Raptors starting lineup. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Carroll in at the small forward. Now, here's Green. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. To the paint. Trying to find Parker. He's got it now. And that one's good.
And guys, when you watch the Spurs play, it's like watching poetry in motion. I mean, every cut, every screen comes at a precise time, and they play beyond the sum of their talents because of that style.
Aldridge gets to Leonard. No one near him. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Patterson dishes to DeRozan. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Unloads. Out to DeRozan. There's the 3. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Aldridge with his screen on DeRozan. And stolen by Patterson. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Parker kicks to Aldridge. With the shot. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. And stolen by Aldridge. And now it's Green running. He can go all the way. That's a 2 from Parker. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Three-pointer, Lowry. An absolute bomb from three-point range. Lowry's got his first 3 points of the game. San Antonio again missing. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. A different look now for San Antonio. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Martin comes in for Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. And Toronto also making a switch. Powell's checked in. Mills with it. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And he gets it to go.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly. You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
Kept alive.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
Toronto's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice. And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Anderson in for Kawhi Leonard. And Toronto will go for a different look here. Biyombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Scola comes in for Patrick Patterson. Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Martin kicks to Anderson, and the shot falls short this time. Scola against West. Here's Biyombo. Rebounded by the Spurs. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And guys, a loss like that, that's one when you just got to put it behind you as quickly as possible.
You know, that won't be easy, Greg. It's hard not to dwell on that type of performance.
San Antonio shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. And both free throws good for Mills. And so the first quarter is in the books. It's San Antonio up 5. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. second quarter beginning in just a moment. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Raptors trail by 5. So for Toronto right now, Corey Joseph is out there with Powell. Then it's Damari Carey. Then it's Scola. And it's Biyombo at the 5.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Well, Marcus Aldridge, he's checked in for the Spurs. DeRozan. The Raptors rebound. Duncan brings the double team. Second shot opportunity. And again, Toronto no up. It's Ginobili with the drive. And the shot is good. Ginobili's got his first 2 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Leonard, he's checked in for the Spurs. Valanciunas, he's checked in for the Raptors. DeRozan passes to Patterson. Elbow shot is on the way.
Once in a while you have these kinds of games, I mean, where nothing is going your way. Nothing's working for them. They need to keep their heads in that situation. Just continue to play and try to work themselves out of it with good effort and concentration.
Toronto calls timeout. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And they had to be sensational defensively on that night to compensate for the fact that they just couldn't find a rhythm offensively.
Well, I don't think they're really built to play those kind of grinded out low-scoring games. It just doesn't seem to be in their DNA to me.
And guys, something new for the NBA is the HGH testing that's been put in place. It's something the league hasn't had too many issues with or even accusations, but better to stamp it out early. And hard to argue that it should be in place.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. And with the HGH testing, it's done in every major sport. Seems like the right thing to do for the NBA. Just make sure everyone is on a level playing field, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think the punishment will be fair. First positive gets you a 20-game ban. The second one, 45. Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard, Clark.
Yes,
Bringing it down hard,
yes,
my brother.
Yes,
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Right side, Leonard. The drive by Aldridge.
And chalk up a few more points for him there. This has been a one-sided game in just about every area.
Absolutely. I echo that sentiment. Their offense, their defense. I mean, it's all been terrific. Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Here's Marjanovic, now recovering.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
Toronto calls timeout.
Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
Ross is checked in for Damari Carroll. That'll be a 5-second call.
Well, the numbers since the All-Star break, and here's how San Antonio ranks league-wide. First in free throw shooting, second in fewest turnovers per game, and they're ranked third in team blocks, getting after it defensively in the paint.
And you look at their ranking, tops in free throw percentage. I think it speaks to their focus and discipline as a team. They look to capitalize on every mistake.
The drive by Green and stolen by Patterson. And here is Ross looking for his first basket still in this one. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Raptors trailed by 21. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Kevin Martin.
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That is his first foul of the game.
Boy, did he go hard to the boards, but clearly went over the back and doing it.
Yeah, kudos for the effort. I always love that kind of effort, but he was just a little overzealous.
Anderson, he's checked in for Leonard. That drops.
This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. .110 left to play here in the second quarter. Poked loose. Ross in the corner. Can they get it? First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. So it's San Antonio now. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. It was a victory here for the home team last time these guys met.
Yeah, and in winning that last game, they attacked the basket aggressively, drew a lot of fouls in that game.
Yeah, it certainly paid off. I mean, free throws and foul trouble for your opponents. Come on now. That's a winning recipe all day long.
Tony Parker's checked in for Patty Mills. Martin kicks to Parker.
Toronto foul call. Kyle Lowry.
For San Antonio, they've shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement. So that's some positive momentum they can look to build on.
Toronto's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. No good from Ross.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
Back to Patterson. Here's DeRozan. And again, no good by Toronto. Just 3 on the clock. Shot is off. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. It's the Spurs running away with it. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
Here we go, San Antonio. Please give it up for the Spurs.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just...